Okay, I've been in my Bible lately. You understand me? Like, shit crazy out here.
World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world.
You know,
the world said fuck us,
Matthew 24:13.
so we said fuck the world.
He that shall endure to the end.
The world said fuck us,
shall be
so we
saved.
said fuck the world.
Fuck the world.
The world don't love us, nah. So we said fuck the world. Look, I know your kinfolk gone, but hold on. I know them lights ain't on, but hold on. Look, even if you feel you got nothing to hold on, I got a message. God said hold on to your sanity. I know you in a position that you ain't planned to be. With our lives, we're not addicted to gambling. You feel the pressure and the thoughts in your head are scrambling. You feel the storm getting closer. You feel like giving up before you even start, then it's over. You feeling like fuck it, you going through too much to be sober. Life is passing you by as you do this over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over. Time to make a change now. Instead of that, you fall a victim to the same now. Starting to find out that this life is not a game now. Back against the wall, couldn't run. As a poor man screamed to the top of his world, said fuck us. So he said fuck the world. The world said fuck us. So we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us. So we said fuck the world. The world don't love us. So we said fuck the world. For real. Look. Cover your eyes, don't wanna see the blood on the leaves. Bodies of eyes innocently hanging from trees, floating in screens, blood in the water, blood on the altar. Still don't believe justice is coming. Heavenly Father, did not Christ say vengeance is mine? Don't even bother. When he return, it's gonna be slaughter. Ooh, I know you don't wanna face it, but what's real love sound like hatred. And you gotta be fucking crazy if you think they gonna get away with killing all them babies, feeding them to alligators. All the women that was raped, the transatlantic slave trade made us build a nation that we can't partake in. School to prison, pipeline, mass incarceration. All the lives that's been taken, hated to love it. You only talk about forgiveness cause we never get justice. I think you really reluctant. I remember hearing a hood nigga say all the shit he would have done if he was living during slavery. Look what's going on today, and you ain't doing a damn thing but putting shame on your ancestors' name. But who's to blame? All these drugs, pills, weed, beans, and lean and cocaine. I get the feeling that we living in a big dope game. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world.
Hey, oh. Yeah. Hey. Fuck wrong with you, boy? You know what time it is, nigga.
Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my niggas.
Got my nigga Rewan with me.
But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor.
You know what I'm saying?
Under commanding General YAHANNA. That for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Look, hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Y'all know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gut. My mind frame was to kill my own pattern. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. I'm with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. Oh, I take your life for it. You take mine. That's when I realize slaves killing slaves. Why the white man let it get old? We hit them graves. Shit got me in the play. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected, but in this world we rejected. We hated for our complexion. We're fighting against accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected, and all my niggas correct me. The command is the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. And watch how you step in, because brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. And watch how you step in, because brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. And watch how you step in, because brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. And watch how you step in, because brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Stay close. Danger lurks all around. At every moment, keep your head on the swivel.
You already know that.
I mean, you ain't gotta pay no price for it. No corners. Just when we buy corners, we take the corners. And you won't buy one way or another. Whether it's with the bodies we don't lost, you're gonna lose time in the joint. It's behind us or ahead of us. I mean, you're gonna get some shit in this game, but this shit for free. How many corners do we need? How much money can one of the niggas spend? And we ain't gonna be around to spend what we done ain't already. Shit, I'm not gonna be among this. So, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know when nigga murders don't mix, he was fucking on this bitch. He got booked, now she's sick, she out here sucking all these. Told my young boy to chill cause he was hitting all these licks. Now he resisting, now we 6 feet. He was thinking with his dick. Had a heart and young kid. Man, I'm dropping gems, they call me old school. Fed on the gram, now who you shot and who you going shoot. 600 page indictment, nigga. What you gonna do? Up top with them lifers, you don't fight, all you do is shoot. I know them crackers mad as hell because they want to see us dead. Plotting all the minds, holding counsel just to stay ahead. This one was just forever. We gon' paint the nation's red. If you're not under this banner, then you always red. Man, I'm from the trenches, they ain't know it show us love at all. All we know is the stitches in the way to throw a slug. We done made a move on you and we don't care who it was. On the gram, I saw my youngest send a nigga up above. Thought me in the squad was fatigue, how we run shit. Better yet, that's all block. Better yet, that's all struck. My general said if it's not one Western, it's not legit. Fuck every crack, I'll go to the grave and go and take my piss. Mama, I'm the Israelite, pulling strings like Santana. Gotta keep the blitz because in that mix it get bananas, I adapted to it. Right before the skis and wear bandanas, I'm the big bad wolf, come down your chimney like I'm saying. And the pussy nigga said that they was gonna slide, but they ain't do shit. Got a couple hammers in the ride, don't even bang shit. Got a couple crackers on my mind, I'm trying to hang shit. Yeah, I'm in the field, I'm still pissed about the slave shit. Then y'all got some big shit to make a brain flip. This pump turn you to an echo back with these backflips. Mom said 12s ask you questions, but I say shit. Mom said no neighbors ask you questions, but I say shit. I'm true to this. Ask your old head, I ain't new to this, I'm too legit. There's one West world, and we running this, I'm gunning it. Provide every cracker to be intelligent, irrelevant. For all them fake can't. We ain't marching with this clip that I got like, hold on, what I'm trying to throw it on. You pledge your allegiance to those snakes, they turn 40 on you. Pillhead slash crash guns, I keep it real with you. Told me you don't trust none of them niggas, and that's a real issue. I don't give a fuck, you wanting beef, I want you all dead. Just before they sign the same words that Paul said. Clip full of racist motherfuckers, they got bald heads. This shit that I got dumping in your head like some skull heads. Why you trying to claim the same right that your man's dead? Yo, it's how I'm lacking main reasons why your God's dead. Always gotta keep running it ahead before I go to bed. Fucking DJ Khaled, this one West, this one God dead, nigga. One West, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been in my Bible lately. You understand? Like, she crazy.
World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world.
You know,
The world said fuck us,
24/13.
so we said fuck the world.
Yeah, shit to the
The
head.
world said fuck us,
Shall we
so we
say?
said fuck the world.
Fuck the world.
The world don't love us, no. So we said fuck the world. Look, I know you can't hold on, but hold on. I know them laces ain't on, but hold on. Look, even if you feel you got nothing to hold on, I got a message. God said hold on. Hold on to your sanity. I know you in a position that you ain't planned to be. When our lives were not addicted to gambling. You feel the pressure and the thoughts in your head is scrambling. You feel the storm getting closer. You feel like giving up before you even start, and it's over. You feel like fuck it, you going through too much to be sober. Life is passing you by as you do this over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over. Time to make a change now. Instead of that, you fall victim to the same now. Starting to find out that this life is not a game. Now back against the wall, couldn't run as a poor man screamed to the top of his lungs. I said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world. Look, cover your eyes, don't want to see the blood on the leaves. Bodies of eyes, innocently hanging from trees, floating the screams, blood in the water, blood on the altar. Still don't believe justice is coming, heavenly Father did not Christ say vengeance is mine. Don't even bother. When he return, it's gonna be slaughter. Ooh, I know you don't want to face it, but we'll spill love sound like hatred, and you gotta be fucking crazy. And you think they gonna get away with killing all them babies, feeding them the alligators, all the women that was raped, the transatlantic slave trade made us build a nation that we can't partake in school to prison, pipeline mass incarceration. All the lives that's been taken, hated the love. You only talk about forgiveness because we never forget justice. I think you've been reluctant. I remember hearing the hood niggas say all the shit he would have done if he was living during slavery. Look what's going on today, and you ain't doing a damn thing but putting shame on your ancestors' name. But who's the blame? All these drugs, pills, weed, beans, lean, cocaine. I get the feeling that we living in a big dope game. And said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world.
On 44 shit. You know, man. Busy, man. Busy, man. Look, when that shit drop, you step on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Friday, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I'll pop on like I said you were. I got time to get haters know that I survived, they know how I did it. Got it off the book, drink the coach, they know how I did it. Iceberg,
Clap it up. Clap it up for Yahweh Shamashiach, who Italy called Christ. Clap it up for Command General YAHANNA, all the generals, all the captains, all the officers, all the troopers and the sisters. But ISUPK coming out of 1 West Harlem, New York, 125th Street, under Commanding General YAHANNA. That says 1969, we've been teaching the truth that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the children of the Bible. Happy Monday to everybody. It's the Monday class, y'all. Today's the Elizabeth class. Got some issues to go over, got an article to cover. Let's get right into it. Now y'all know another one of those disgusting heathen holidays is around the corner, so-called Halloween. And the Bible talks about how we shouldn't celebrate these heathen holidays. Yeah, sure. What's up?
Slacky, if I may, let me do this for you first of all. Slacky. What I would like to say is, you forgetting it's a heathen holiday today.
I was getting to it.
Oh, Slacky.
I
jumped in. Because I was about to say you can't mention this other disgusting one that's coming out without.
I'm doing a little rundown of what I'm covering.
Oh, Slacky. I was about to but you can't talk about the other one that's coming without talking about this disgusting one. Which it's 77 million of our brothers, was unalive. Slacky, because it is rat. Slacky.
This rat bastard, you can say it.
Rat bastard,
We ain't monetized yet. we still got freedoms. But yeah, before I was jumped ahead by the men above me, we're gonna get into today's holiday, which is so-called Columbus Day. And what I don't understand is how they could celebrate somebody that unalive over 77.2 million Native Indians that inhabited this land originally. Like, this is what I'm trying to understand about the United States, or so-called America, right? They give holidays to unalivers, right? They commemorate unalivers. You know what I'm afraid to see in the future, and not so far distant future neither. I wonder if they're gonna give a holiday to Dylan Roof. I wonder if they're gonna give a holiday to that young Caucasian gentleman that went into a supermarket and unalived a whole bunch of elderly Black and Hispanic people. I wonder if they're gonna give him a holiday. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But this is why we have to come out of these ideologies that we need to celebrate all these heathen holidays. These holidays is not for us. Just like I brought up in the last class, how we put such a fuss on for America to give us our own holiday, and they gave us Black History Month, which was so-called February, which is also falls as one of their holidays, Valentine's Day, and then they also threw Pride Month in there, and it's all in 1 month. What people fail to realize is that the actual Black History Month that's considered around the world, except in the United States, is in this month of October. But why the United States won't acknowledge that is because they don't want to overshadow Columbus Day. They don't want to overshadow Halloween. You understand? When you get these kids and adults dressing like ghosts, ghouls, and goblins, grown-ass women dressing up provocatively, looking like half-naked nurses and stuff like that, and then got the audacity to feel some type of way if a brother gives them a compliment or tries to attempt to get their number or tell them that they're beautiful. Oh, it's such blasphemy. Oh, it's so disrespectful of them. How dare you? But yet they want to look and dress the part, but don't want what comes with it. This is why in today's society, women are delusional. They want to have no responsibility like children, all the freedom of an adult, with no responsibility like a teenage child going through high school living with their parents. You can't live life like that. That's an imaginary dream. Unless you want to be an adult living with your mom or your dad or whatever the case may be. Then that's a whole nother class. You understand? We get people trying to jump in the chat. But yeah, we definitely going to cover Columbus Day and Halloween. I got a whole slew of precepts that cover these nasty ass heathen holidays. But something more interesting we're going to get into as well. We're going to get into this so-called election and voting, and we're going to show why it doesn't pay for us to vote. I'm going to show why it's not wise for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to vote, to physically walk in a place and put your information on a ballot and say, I vote for this person. Because one, your vote don't really mean nothing. They're going to put in office who they choose to put in office. You understand what I'm saying? How blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do it is the Lord chooses the elect, as said in the scripture. Like how Yahushua Mashiach was chosen, Commanding General YAHANNA was chosen. You understand? I pray y'all do understand. Any questions in the room, comments, anything you want to get on as far as Columbus Day before I get started? Shop. Any questions so you don't have to jump the gun again? You know what I mean? Any comments you want to make on this heathen holiday we so-called called Columbus Day?
Slack, if I may.
Sure.
If I may. I have a comment. You know, our people, we talk about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We talk about the Israelites, of course, our people, right? Our brothers and sisters. We are so obsessed and so brainwashed or whitewashed by our oppressors that we actually go out and celebrate a man. They said a man that came from England and had an Israelite guide him here, right? And then come here and bring other people with him, other England people with him, and they started living here and befriend the so-called Indians, and then start unaliving them or plotting to unalive. And this shows you how diabolical the oppressor really is. One, two, it shows you something else, that they're not our friends. They're our enemies. They've been our enemies. They was our enemies in the beginning when with Jacob and Esau, and all throughout history, through the world history, they've been our enemies. Even now, up to today's time, they still our enemy. They keep us enslaved, and they got all these laws and all these laws and these rules in place to keep blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians down. Salakia.
No, what you're saying is heavy, and I'm actually about to pull up a precept for it. Because you're right. And you're so right. There's a precept for it. And let's see. Yep. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Right.
They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's why I say it's so heavy what you brought out, because we don't need to be following behind the oppressor. They are our enemies. They've been our enemies since the womb, before birth.
Right.
They've been against us since before. They was trying to unalive us in the womb, which is why Esau and Jacob was constantly in battle, putting that sister in utter turmoil, trying to carry them two knuckleheads, you know? And
the one
knucklehead, you know. Yeah, the disowned one. You know, and that's another thing that Christianity and these so-called pastors misrepresent and present to our people in these so-called churches and these Baptist churches as well. They try to pass it over and say, "Oh, God loves everybody," and and God made everybody, so we should love everybody. No. God made everybody, but God does not love everybody. God loves who he loves, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, and the Most High hates who he hates, heathens and sinners. You understand what I'm saying? And this is part of the reason why it's saying in the scriptures that we have to separate from them. We have to stray away from the heathens, and we have to stray away from their customs. I got another precept right here. It's the book of Ezra, chapter 6, verse 21. And the children of Israel, which were come again out of captivity, and all such as had separated themselves unto them from the filthiness of the heathen of the land, to seek the Lord God of Israel, did eat. I'm going to run this precept back and break it down. But what this precept is saying is we need and have to separate from the heathen. We have to separate from their ways. We have to separate from their customs. And this is how real it is. It's in the Bible. This is not nothing new, because it's nothing new under the sun. This is the book of Ezra, chapter 6, verse 21. And the children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, which were come again out of captivity, meaning when we were brought out of captivity in the land of Egypt, because that Egypt was not our first captivity. We're in captivity now in America. So this could definitely apply to today's time. Which were come out again out of captivity, and all such as had separated themselves unto them from the filthiness of the heathen of the land. Meaning, we need to separate from the filthiness of the heathens of the United States. We have to separate from all nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel and stray away from their filthiness, their filthy ways, their filthy customs, and their filthy selves all together in general. To seek the Lord thy God of Israel. In order for us to seek the Lord thy God, our God, we have to separate from these heathens. We have to separate from these customs. We can't help them celebrating Columbus Day. We can't help if they gave you today off. You can't force yourself to go into work. If they closed on the day because it was an Easter holiday, so be it. But the whole point of the matter is, don't celebrate these customs. Don't fall into the ways of the heathen. Separate yourself from these heathens and their customs and their ways. That's the only way that we can, one, learn to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of this Bible, and get back to getting close to the Most High God. Because the only way we can get close to the Most High God is to fear him. And how do you fear him? By keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how you fear the Most High God. Let's see. Another precept to further show why we shouldn't celebrate holidays like Columbus Day today or Halloween coming up shortly. It's the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 22, verse 44. Thou also hast delivered me from the strivings of my people. Thou hast kept me to be head of the heathen. A people which I know not shall serve me. Bring it back for the top. Any questions on this? Want to take a shot? Okay. This book of 2 Samuel, chapter 22, verse 44. Thou shalt hast delivered me from the strivings of my people. Meaning, if you separate from your people to follow behind the heathen, you're gonna end up suffering far more worse than just not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Yes, black, Hispanics, and Native Indians struggle. Yes, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have strife. Yes, we do. Yes, we're struggling to have a strife in this godforsaken country, in this kingdom that's ran by Esau right now. Yes, it is. But we strive less if we come together as a people. Stop trying to follow behind these nasty ass heathens and their customs. They're not going to accept you. Yeah, they'll look like they're bringing you into the fold for a purpose. Unless you plan on being their handbone or their boy, it's not worth it. You better off being around your own kind. You understand what I'm saying? I pray y'all do. Thou hast kept me to be head of the heathen. Of people which I know not shall serve me. The only way we can be ahead of these so-called heathens for them to serve us is when Yahweh Mashiach, who we call Christ, come back and return down here on earth to restore structure and order. You understand? Until we, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, come together, like it says in Zephaniah 2:1, as a people. Hey, I'll fix it back. Until we come back together as a people, they will not be here to serve us. We're continuously serving them. You understand? I pray y'all do understand. What else I have? I'm not going to speed through all these precepts right now. Let me tell you something, Israel. We as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have to stop following behind the white man. We have to stop following behind the oppressor. We got to stop following behind these East Indians and Chinese and Japanese and Koreans and so on and so forth. You understand? We have to stick with our people. You understand what I'm saying? Judah, who is black, Negroes, of Negro descent, same lineage as Christ. You understand? So-called Jamaicans, Benjamin, so-called Levites, tribe of Levi, tribe of Gad, who are Native Indian brothers and sisters. You understand? So on and so forth. Simeon, who are the so-called Dominicans, tribe of Ephraim, who are the so-called Puerto Ricans. We have to come together. Reuben, tribe of Reuben, part of our West Indian connection. You understand? Not East Indian, West Indies, Trinidad, all the countries along that side, Barbados. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are our people. We have to come together, like in Zephaniah 2:1, and serve our God, yeah, the Most High. You understand? Most High, your power. If you want to look for a name, you go to the Most High, your power. You understand? You want to look for our King Christ, you call him Yahweh Mashiach in Hebrew. That's who we ignorantly call Christ in English, which is not our native tongue. Hebrew is our native tongue. That's why when you greet a brother, you say Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabbat to one brother, or Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabbat to more than one iron or out of one year. And you greet the sisters, you say Shema Aleph Bashem Yahweh Shab. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Aleph Bashem Yahweh Shab. That's how you probably greet the sister. You understand? But we have to stop idealizing the thought and notion that, you know, maybe one day we can come together and live together as a people. No, you can't. We could deal with them. We could tolerate them. We could do business with them. We can coincide with them for the time being. But as far as being a people, no. You understand? The closest we can get as a people is having someone like Eminem in hip hop, because hip hop is a black and Hispanic culture. But he broke barriers and walls down, being an outstanding lyricist. And I take credit away from nobody that deserved it and earned it for it. Even though we don't deal with heathens, that heathen is a very well skilled heathen, you understand? And a very outstanding MC. I give credit where credit is due. We can't call them black. We can't consider them black. We can't bring them into the fold like that. But we can hang out with them. We can do business with them. We can even do music together. You understand? As an artist, I wouldn't mind doing the track with Eminem, because that's going to help me bring light to the UPK, to my people. You understand? That's going to help shed light and help become a fishing tool we got other topics that we're gonna bring out today that we're gonna go over, like voting, and all this ties together because celebrating heathen holidays and customs is something that we should not do. And another custom that's part of the land that we shouldn't take part in is voting in elections. We should not take parts in voting and electing because, let's be real, blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians are the butt of the joke when it comes to this. When it comes to politics, that's a white people thing. I'm gonna be honest. That's a heathen thing. All that politics and stuff like that, that's a heathen custom. So voting in elections, that's a heathen custom. And Obama went on national television saying he basically was ashamed of black people for not voting for or supporting Kamala Harris. Why are we going to support an East Indian? You are African. Why are we going? Why is the 12 tribes of Israel going to have any parts in supporting heathens? We know she has does not have blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians' best interests at heart. And I'm gonna tell you why. Prime example. They saying this one young lady, she's on TikTok advocating for Harris and I guess one female to another. And she's saying, oh, look at the reform she's creating, look at the bills she's trying to pass as far as prison reform. Okay. If Kamala Harris was that big and that focused on prison reform, then why did she have a young black man wrongly convicted? He served time, didn't serve a full sentence because go to find out further evidence later on down the line showed his innocence, which got him exonerated. And the crazy thing was, Kamala Harris was at his trial, she was at his sentencing, and she was present for when he got exonerated. All he said was, I don't even want an apology. I just want Kamala Harris to acknowledge me, to acknowledge the fact that maybe she made a mistake. And in order for her to acknowledge that, brother, she would have to also publicly admit that she was wrong and made a mistake. And she cannot afford that type of backlash because it's election time and she needs Negro votes. You understand the science behind this? There's a sweet science behind how they manipulate and use us. You get what I'm saying? If she really was about reform for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because that's who the majority in these prison systems are, blacks and Hispanics. You got little drippings of other nations, but prisons is predominantly occupied by blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, hands down, across the entire United States. Hell, I'm willing to bet globally. But that's neither here nor there. So, if Kamala Harris was so serious about prison reform and such, and she really wanted to get black votes, she would have stepped in and stopped the execution and unalignment of Maurice Williams, who was a man wrongfully convicted and wrongfully sentenced to the death penalty for a crime that happened to a white woman back in 1999, and go to find out there's no proof or evidence putting him at the scene of the crime, to the point the prosecutor, even the prosecutor went to the judge and said, listen, it's showing that he did not do it. I don't believe he did it. But you know what they said? So what? Too late. This is happening. And they unalived Maurice Williams several weeks ago, right? If Kamala Harris was that damn serious about prison reform or helping black people to secure their votes, she would have stepped in and paused that unalignment of Maurice Williams so they could reopen the case. Henceforth, getting him exonerated. Because now you got the defense attorney and the prosecutor on the same boat. You even got federal officials on the same page. But once the wheels greased up and rolling, what can you do? It's happening. That's what they said. Supreme Court ruled against it. So it is what it is. And it's sad. Because this is why I have a saying in the world, right? And I say it jokingly, but I be so serious. I say make it right. Treat me like I'm white. Because if a cop pull you over, right? If a cop pulls you over, he's not going to treat you like you're white. He's going to treat you like the black man that you are, right? If you get pulled over by a police officer, he's going to not only treat you like the color you are, but he's going to assume you're like a drug dealer or something like that, like you're out to commit a crime, and he's going to carry you as such. That's why I want to make a shirt that say "Make it right, treat you like I'm white." And I say it jokingly, but I'm so serious because if I'm out in this world, no matter where I'm at in this world, right? Anything happens. 99.9% of the time, I'm gonna end up beaten and bludgeoned almost to death. I'm gonna be imprisoned or unalived for being black. There's no other way to sugarcoat it or put it. It's gonna happen because it happens every single day. And if it wasn't for social media, these phones, this technology, if it wasn't for this is a gift and a curse at the same time because if not for this, we wouldn't be able to communicate with people globally, whether friends, family, or whoever. But also, this is a tool to help protect you and help vindicate you. Because if without this, is your word against mine. And when it comes to these police out here, they play for keeps. They're not playing out here. They're not playing with us. They're playing for keeps. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. This is why it doesn't pay to vote. This is why elections are bullcrap, bullshit, bull sugar honey iced tea. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't pay for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to vote. It's not worth it. We shouldn't do it, and they can get out of here with that nonsense. You know what I mean? And all this is tying together. This is why I put this class together the way I did, because shout out to Officer 500 to Dunya for this too, because if it wasn't for this lineup, like, and peep the lineup, it all comes together. Voting, elections, Obama, Halloween, and Columbus Day today. All this ties together. All this has to do with following heathen customs, heathen holidays, and trying to join with white people, trying to join with the oppressors of this world when we have no business doing it. Let me go to this article with Obama, right? Let me read this right quick. Obama admonishes black men for hesitancy in supporting Harris, right? He basically wanted to berate us and talk smack to black men for not supporting Harris. Why are we gonna? All right. Let me say before I even get to this article, right? Let me start off by saying something that makes total perfect sense. If black men have to go out into the world to deal with the world, deal with oppression from a job, from a slave, have to deal with oppression from dealing with heathens in the world, have to deal with the oppression from being looked over by your boss who is an oppressor, by having to deal with everyday life, struggling as a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, right? And then we have to go home to our beautiful, proud, and unruly women, right? Because for the most part, we have black, Hispanic women, and when we're in these relationships, especially being in the world, these women are unruly because they're not in the ISUPK, because they're not in the truth, because they don't have structure and order, right? And for that, they tend to have a masculine spirit on them, right? And that's part of the reason why we struggle even further as black men, because it's like we got to keep our guard up being in the world. We're supposed to be able to let our guard down when we get home. How can we let our guard down when we get home if we've got an unruly woman in the house that I'm a matter of fact, let me bear with me a moment. Let me pull up a precept that's gonna help support what I'm talking about. You know, because women and children are similar in this regard when it comes to being unruly. Here's the problem. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 7, verse 11. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Now, just that alone is telling you, explaining Black and Hispanic women for the most part, especially being in the world. This is the book of Deuteronomy 21, verse 20, verse 20. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, to our sons is, okay, wait, that ain't it. Oh, I know that person. That's something totally different. I'm specifically talking about the sisters. Let's see. Here's another good one. Thus saith, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9, verse 17. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider ye all, thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider ye and call for the mourning women that they may come, and send for cunning women that they may come. Like women can be very cunning too, because your tongue is a double-edged sword, and if women don't know how to control this, let alone keep it closed. That's why I say women keep silence in the churches, for you are not permitted to speak. Thus saith the law. Not me, not man. Thus saith the law. Let's see. Come on, that. Go right here. I don't like this one right here. This one. Let's see. And see, and just right here, just as one part of the precept, the book of Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 13, right? It says, folly is an unruly woman. She is simple, meaning because the Most High removed all logic from and reasoning from Eve. It was passed down from generation to generation into this day. You understand? Like women can be unruly, and women can be disrespectful, and women don't listen, and women, again, they take on this masculine spirit into these times, and they feel that they can compete with men, and they want to do everything a man does, and men are not attracted to that. We stray away from stuff like that. I don't want a woman that acts like me. No. Why would I want that? I'm good being me. I don't need you trying to be like me too. I need you to be you. I need a woman to be soft and delicate and girly girl, like wear dresses and talk lightly and respectfully. And it smells like sunshine and sunflowers. Like that's what I like. You understand? Like that's what I like. I don't know about other people's preference, but that's what I like. And not only is Kamala Harris a heathen, but she's a woman too. So we supposed to let unruly woman lead us. We're supposed to let a lying-ass woman lead us. Is that what y'all saying, Israel? Let me tell you something. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 9, right? It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop which is your roof, than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Meaning, I'd rather go in the corner, sit to a corner of my roof than have to sit here and brawl, deal with a woman that want to be in conflict, or deal with a woman that want to throw hands and such. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why women want to have that type of masculine spirit on them. I don't get that. Not saying that that's Kamala Harris, but I'm giving you an example of women in today's time, because that takes up a very nice percentage of women in today's society. It don't matter what city or state you're in. If you're in this country or the United States, these are the type of women you're going to come across or run across. When you go to other countries, you don't see that. A lot of women in these other foreign countries, they're docile, they're submissive, they're gentle, they're kind, they're respectful, and furthermore, they're loyal. That's the part right there. That's the main part right there. Here's another one. Book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. You hear what that says? It said, I would rather deal with the wilderness and the animals that's out in the wild than deal with a contentious and angry woman. Because hell has no fury like a woman scorned. And these women out here are scorned. Kamala Harris is scorned, and she is waiting to try to be in a position of some form of power to where she is going to ruin us. She is going to try to rule over all men. And she's going to try to tell us what to do, where to go, how to work, how much to make, how much. Like, no. This is why we have no business voting, electing, or dealing with anything that Obama got going on as far as what he's talking about. Let me get to this article, but let me tell you something, Israel. It should be a cold day in hell before we end up dealing with voting for a woman, bringing a woman in office in this country. Even though this country's not ours, these customs and ways is not ours, but we still have to live in it and survive in it. But I'll be damned if I'm gonna be sitting here submitting myself to a goddamn woman. Got me messed up, right out there, wrong Negro. It's not happening. And I pray other brothers is on the same page. Let me go to this article. Pittsburgh. Former President Barack Obama on Thursday made a direct, impassioned plea to black men to support Vice President Kamala Harris, a key demographic she is struggling to mobilize, admonishing them for thinking about sitting out the presidential contest, as well as suggesting sexism might be at play. It's not about sexism. It's stop trying to smokescreen and gaslight and make excuses. At the end of the day, is called structure and order. It's God, it's Christ, it's man, and then it's woman and child. You see the structure, you see the order thing, how that woman and child right neck to neck. Like, it's not just, she could call it sexism all she wants, but feminism is why our sisters are destroyed now. Feminism was a white woman problem. Why are black and Hispanic women adopting those ways, those customs? They got no business doing that again. Even customs and even ways, we have to come out of that. We have to come out of her. We have to come out of the ways and those customs. We have to stop following what they follow. During an unannounced stop at a Harris campaign field office in Pittsburgh, just hours before he was set to appear at his first campaign rally for the Democratic nominee, Obama said he wanted to speak some truths and address black men specifically, making his most direct remarks about their hesitancy in supporting Harris to date. My understanding based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kind of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities, as well as saw when I was running. Obama said, adding that it seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. Well, I'm gonna eliminate the elephant in the room by speaking the truth myself, and I'm gonna be totally honest. The only reason why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians voted for Obama in the first place was we were under the impression that he was a black man. He turned out to be a hammer. So that was false leading, misleading, and misrepresentation. You understand what I'm saying? So you're not going to get you caught us sleeping before. You're not going to get the same turnout. Now we know what it is. Now we know to do our homework. Okay, who's our daddy? Who's his daddy? Where they come from? Because if we're not white, we got to do our homework and our research. We got to see where you come from. Where you live. It's just because you brown like us don't mean you like us. You understand? Obama questioned how voters and black votes specifically could be on the fence about whether to support Harris or former President Donald Trump, the Republican nominee. On the one hand, you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pains and joys that come from those experiences, Obama said, ticking off a list of Harris policy proposals. And Trump, he added, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person, and you were thinking about sitting out. The former president then spoke about what he thought might be contributing to black men's soft support of Harris, the discomfort of some of the idea of electing the first female president. And you're coming up with all these kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that, he said, because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as a president, and you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. You know, quick sidebar before I continue with this article, right? I like how Obama's trying to word it, right? But in all actuality, we're not going to listen to a heathen. We're not going to follow heathens. This is part of all why I put this all together. We're not supposed to follow heathens or the ways of them they are, or their customs. All this is part of heathen customs. Columbus Day, Halloween, voting, electing, the presidential election. All that's a heathen custom that we, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, do not have no business taking part of. Period. You trying to get back over here, sir? Or you too out? All right, no sweat. You know, if I get back to this article, right? He's speaking to black men directly, talking about, oh, I feel some type of way because we're not supposed to, like, you making excuses of having a woman as president. Yeah, let me help. Let's see. It's the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. Let me say that again for the viewers. Let the woman learn in silence and with all subjection. Go ahead, Chuck.
I have a question.
Sure.
So if the scripture says, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean she can't go on social media platforms and put her ideal thought of, or her thought of what a scripture is being broke down? Or can a woman break down a scripture based on her own thoughts?
No.
Can women go online and break down scriptures?
No. And that's a prime example of why they can't. Because the scripture says so. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11 says, let the woman learn in silence. That means hush. That means sit and learn. Sit and learn it. With all subjection. Wait, there's more. It's the book of here's another one to support what you're saying, Kashaf. But these so-called sisters going on these social media platforms trying to voice their ideologies or sit there and combat men and say, oh, I know men. Because she's been hurt and she's triggered. It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 34. Let your woman keep silence in the churches. I don't think they heard me. Let me say that again. It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 34. Let your woman keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded, not asked, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. Not me, not also Shakur, not the ISUPK. The law, statutes, and commandments says it, and warrants it, and commands it, and says so. Thus saith the law. Christ ain't even saying it. It's in the law.
No, Christ.
But
it's like if I may. No.
Sure, go ahead.
Christ is saying it because the law says it.
Right.
ISUPK is saying it because the law says it. Kishakawa and also Yashala and every man in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is absolutely saying what the law has quoted already.
Right. But these are not our personal thoughts and feelings and opinions. No. This is exactly coming strictly from the law, statutes, and commandments that we follow.
All right.
Water for that.
Yeah.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 26. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. Meaning, she sat down, she shut her goddamn mouth, and she learned from her husband. She learned from her husband. She learned from her husband. That's what it means when they say she opened her mouth and spoke with wisdom. You look like you're itching the add to that, sir. You got something you want to add to that? Or did I hit the nail on the head with that? You know, the whole thing is there's structure and order that we as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do not follow, which is why we need to follow it. We need to gather together like in Zephaniah 2:1, and we need to get away from these heathens and the ways thereof. We're listening to a Hamite supporting an East Indian getting on the 12 tribes of Israel of why we're not supporting them. Here, I'm going to translate it in layman's terms so y'all can get it. Because y'all MS put us in captivity. Y'all had us as slaves. Why the hell are we going to support you? We got hoodwinked and bamboozled, Barack. Obama, you bamboozled us. We should have knew from the name you wasn't black. But we as Blacks and Hispanics, we ignorant. We don't know no better. We assumed you was black. We ain't find out until after we voted for you as a collective to find out you was a goddamn Hamite. Now, what the public's excuse was after the first 4 years is beyond me. It's beyond me. But the point of the matter is, you're trying to subliminally debo and bully blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to follow you heathens. How dare you? Another reason why Kamala Harris shouldn't be president, because it's not her place to be in a position of power. And here, let me give you a precept to help that. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. If Kamala Harris becomes president, she's not only plucking it down her own house with bare hands, but she's setting a bad example for actual blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian women to do the same thing, to seek power. You understand what I'm saying? It's a crime. It's a biblical crime for women to usurp authority over men. Here, let me pull that precept up for you while I'm at it. Let's see if it's in here. Let's see. Here's another good one. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find it for virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. All you so-called feminists out here on these social media platforms making asses of yourselves and degrading not just yourself, but your black men, your Hispanic men, your Native Indian men. You're fools and outright idiots. Because you think you sound smart because now you're on a platform that gets millions of views. You think it because you're going to be seen by millions that making an ass out of yourself damn near on national television, or basically because you want to voice your opinion. Shut up. Shut the hell up. Shut your goddamn mouth. And maybe you might learn something. The last man you slept with is your husband. Go find him. Kamala Harris, stay in your place. Just be a glorified vice president. You got no business being in office, and you got no business you being in a position of authority. Obama, finish being Will Smith to your Jada. You ain't got no business sitting here trying to tell black men what to do. You couldn't do it when you was in office. So what makes you think you're going to do it now out of office? You pushing bills for LGBTQ agenda. The hell you doing? Got business to? What makes you think you got any type of what's the word I'm looking for? Any type of reservation to stake a comment to a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man about what they should do with themselves or with their life? We're not supposed to vote in the goddamn first place. What makes you think we need to vote now? You know who we need to elect? Commanding General YAHANNA. That's who. Right. That's who we need to elect to run this goddamn country. Because maybe we'll have an economy that works. Right. Maybe we'll have a structure and an order that works. Maybe women will actually learn and know their goddamn place. Maybe men will know what to do and know how to actually be a goddamn man and take the dress off and take the pocketbook off their shoulder and let their nuts hang for once. But I don't want to stray off topic. Let me get back to this article. Because Obama funny, he's hilarious. Obama's comments created a remarkable moment. The nation's first black man to serve as president, urging others like him to rally behind potentially the first woman of color to ascend to the White House. Now, that's a nice political way to put it. I'm glad they say black woman because they realize she's not black. Hey, here we go. And they say Harris is black and Indian American. Okay, you say so. The women in our lives have been getting our back this entire time, Obama said. When we get in trouble and the system isn't working for us, they're the ones out there marching and protesting. And now you're thinking about sitting out and supporting somebody who has a history of degrading you because you think that a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting a woman down. That's not acceptable. Why is Obama speaking? First of all, why is Obama speaking for Harris? Where's Kamala Harris' husband? Where's her husband? Does Kamala Harris have a husband? If she does, is she married to a black man, a Hispanic man, a Native Indian man? Oh. More than likely, she has a white husband, I guess. Obama began hitting the campaign trail Thursday, stopping first in the critical battleground state of Pennsylvania, which is central to Harris's chances of victory, and all 7 battleground states, which also includes Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona. Trump and Harris are effectively tied, and the Harris campaign has said it expects a highly contested presidential race that will come down to a razor-thin margin. Yeah, I guess they're doing that for the viewers. Trump and his allies have said he is making inroads with black men because they believe that his economic plans would benefit all Americans. Obama's efforts on Harris' behalf will largely be focused on states and counties where early voting has begun in the hopes that his appearances can motivate voters to immediately act and cast their ballots. But his message to black men on Thursday marked the departure from the upbeat and joyful message Harris, her running mate Tim Walz, and others surrogates have adopted in their efforts to motivate the small number of undecided voters. During his rally at the University of Pittsburgh, Obama strongly criticized Trump's character, while he said he understood that many voters were seeking change, partially after struggling with high prices. He said he could not understand how people could look to Trump and think the former president will offer something better. Before Obama tries to downgrade Trump, let me be clear. I don't support neither Trump nor Harris, right? Because they both heathens. I look at this as 2 bad football teams having a bum fight. Be totally honest with you. But let me explain something to you. When Trump was in office, right, unemployment was at the lowest percentage. Small businesses were flourishing. The economy was actually pretty dope as far as finances and money and opportunities to obtain money was concerned. When he was in office, damn them PPP loans, right? And those so-called stimulus checks, right? Just overall, if you went out to get a job, you can get it without red tape. If you had a small business, you was able to get funds for your business. He made sure funds was available and dispersed for all small business owners. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said earlier in the evening, if you want to vote for Kamala Harris, dig your own grave. It's like you got a double-edged sword. You got Harris on one side, Trump on the other. Which side of the blade you want to get cut by? Because you got somebody by the name of Kamala Harris that sit there saying she's advocating for inmates, but she let Maurice Williams get executed and unalived, right? You got a brother that got wrongfully accused, wrongfully sentenced, wrongfully imprisoned, and then rightfully exonerated, all by the hands of Kamala Harris and the legal team. But yet, this young lady's on TikTok advocating for Kamala Harris and pushing for the agenda for her to become president for some BS fake reform bill, right? Let me be clear on something. It's all BS. Period. It's all BS. And if the scripture, if you don't want to believe the scriptures, then believe history. It don't pay for a woman to lead. And I'm only saying that in the interest of structure and order, because if it was fit for a woman to lead, then a woman would have been leading. If you look all throughout history, name one time a woman led at any time, biblical time or today. Wars were fought by men. Battles were fought by men. The only time women had to put in some type of work was when their white husbands and counterparts went off to fight World War II or Vietnam, and they had to assume their jobs, their factory jobs, because there was nobody around to work them because they weren't going to give them to niggas. Let's be real. Let me give you another precept and showing why we don't need to follow these heathen customs, ways, or holidays. It's the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 8. And walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made. We go up one. For so it was, the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and had feared other gods. That's self-explanatory. I don't need to break it there. And walked in the statutes of the heathens. This is what happens when you follow behind heathen customs and their ways. And walked in the statutes of the heathens, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel and the kings of Israel, which they have made. This is a breakdown saying that the Lord took his hand and freed his people out of the land of Egypt and out of captivity. And how they repaid him was damning, because what they did was they transgressed against the Most High. They transgressed against the Most High and they sinned. And he's looking at it like, I brought you out of slavery and this is how y'all repay me? Y'all are stubborn children. You understand what I'm saying? And that's another example of why we have to come out of her. We have to come out of these heathen customs, come out of these heathen ways. Do not celebrate Halloween. Do not celebrate Columbus Day today. Do not go out and vote for Kamala Harris. Hell, don't even go out and vote for Donald Trump. You want to come vote for somebody? Come put your ballot in for Commander General YAHANNA at the ISUPK. You understand? I may have to do a part 2 to this because my time's running thin. You know, and I will say this, Israel. Pay your goddamn tithes. Pay your tithes. Pay your tithes. Until the next episode, shalom, Israel.